Hi everyone, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing my honest thoughts on the Tonya Plans Genia binder. I have now been in this binder for, what's today? Sunday, a week and 2 days. And I have been using this binder heavily, taking it with me literally everywhere I go. I have not been gentle with this binder. I've treated it just like my other ones. To see how durable it is and how well it's held up. And yeah, I want to share my thoughts with you. And then I also have my all-time favorite Vintage Aurora Franklin Covey Compact binder. This binder, pink, I have this also in Blue Mirage and the Purple Plumeria. The Blue Mirage and Purple Plumeria are from 2021, fall of 2021. This one is from 2017. But I just got it used, new to me, a few months ago. Because I bought this in the classic size because I wasn't in compact at the time. And since I've moved into the compact size binder, I've regretted it every single day that I didn't buy this in compact because, anyways. So I'm going to compare the two to share with you my thoughts. Yeah, so let's get going. First of all, I want to say I love this binder. I love how it feels. I love the puffiness. It's a quilted cover. I don't know if you can see the tiny bumps there. It's squishy and just feels so luxurious, and it is very durable. It does not dirty easily. It helps that it's a dark color, but I think the texture and the kind of leather that this is, it doesn't stay dirty, or it doesn't get dirty. I have not cleaned this yet. I have not conditioned it yet. This is brand new. Like I said, I've just been in this just a little over a week, and I got it about a week prior to moving into it. And yeah, so I just want to say that it's durable. Oh, it just feels so good. And I mean, look at it. It's gorgeous. And the color of the blue is like a navy, but I feel like it's not as dark as a navy. I don't really know what shade of blue this is, but it is just stunning. The only part that does tend to get dirty is the strap because, or sorry, not the strap, but this part here, this is a strap. I don't know what you would call this. That part can get dirty because, you know, when I'm using it, it's on the surface. So whether I'm at a table, if I'm out at a restaurant, I'm in a meeting, I'm at someone's house, I'm a real estate agent, so I'm in people's homes all the time. And not all houses have really clean tables. So this binder is out and it's been on many different tables. And so sometimes this part will get dirty and it's just like it gets a little bit white, but I just rub it off with my finger and then it's fine. So you can see, like, you can't even tell. I have not cleaned this with any cleaner. I just use my finger and I rub it off and it comes right off. So no issues there. These parts here, the hardware has not scratched yet. I think because this sticks up enough that I don't feel like, if you listen, it's this part here, the leather part that hits the table. The hardware does not hit the table. So it's not getting scratched. Okay, so as far as how it looks, oh, I can't tell you, like, this binder is so pretty. So pretty. I love the quilt. Even my husband has very good taste and he's very picky. He'll call something out. In fact, when we go shopping for clothes or whatever, I get his opinion on everything because he just has really good taste and he knows what looks good and what doesn't. And every time we're out with this binder, he's like, that's a really pretty binder. So I'm like, okay, if this passed the Ryan test, you know it's a good binder. Okay. What else do I like about it? I like that it's very light. It's kind of heavy now because she's full, but it's very light. I have not weighed them to see the difference. This is just the kind of leather that this is. It's just naturally a heavier binder, even with nothing in it. So this was very, very light. So it's very easy, I find, believe it or not, easier to carry around than this one, even though it's full. And it's just because the binder itself is not so heavy. So when I have it in my purse, I always put it in this way. I don't put it in that way. I put it in this way. So this is always facing up. So when I reach my hand in to grab it, I find it very easy. I have very small hands, and you can see very small wrists. Even like my jewelry, this is the smallest size that they have, and it's still big. Like I have very, very tiny hands. So this gives me no problems at all to grab this and pull it out of my bag. When this one is full, believe it or not, it does give me some problems. It's probably because the strap is a lot longer, and so I can, this and the rings are just a tad bit bigger. This can be even wider than this one, so then that could be it, because I have more to grab, but it's also heavier. So this is easy, very easy for me to lift. It doesn't hurt my hand to pick it up and carry it around, so that I like. Yeah, so those are all the pros so far. I really like it. Some cons, let's see here. I feel the strap could be bigger, like it could be longer. Now, I know that the binder is probably not meant to be this stuff, because I think the proper way to have stuff in a binder is that when all of your papers are over to the right, you should see the top of your ring. So I probably have this much too many in my binder, right? So if it was just like this, it probably would be fine. If I didn't have this chunk in here, then it probably would be fine. These rings are 1.2 inches. And the ones in the Franklin Covey Compact are 1.25. So they're just a tad bit bigger. So which would make sense why it can handle more. So, but like I said, I'm just using this binder as I would any other binder. And I did not downsize any of my inserts or dashboards. I have it as I would use it if I were in a different binder, just to see how well it handled. Lays flat, no issues at all moving my the contents. Very smooth, no problem. I can go quick. I can, you know, blah, blah, blah. Do a little flippy flip. Totally fine. Totally fine. They don't get caught on the rings. What I do find is that I don't feel that the rings are very strong. If you look closely, I mean, okay, maybe it's like there's a tiny gap here. It's so minuscule though. Tiny gap there, and like the ring has shifted up a little bit. Okay, and if you touch them, they're not completely flush. They are more so down here, but these ones are not. And there have been times as I'm flipping that I've had to push them together. Here, let me zoom in. Hopefully, see that? So when I just leave them alone, there's just a slight gap. So there have been times, more the thinner pages, like my vellum, that it's gotten caught in there, and then I've had to kind of maneuver it. It's not every time I flip through it. Like for the most part, it handles it very well, but you can see there's just slight. This one's not as bad, but this one is the worst. Like it moves quite a bit. The bottom ones are tighter. This one's quite loose. This one's pretty solid. This one's quite loose, and this one's quite loose. Okay, so the rings could be stronger in that regard. They feel good when I open and close them, but they don't feel strong. Kind of, I'd say average, like they don't really stand out. So yeah, I feel like the rings could be stronger, and I do not like these. I don't know what these are called. You use them to open and close binders. Clippy things, I hate them. I absolutely hate them. See how small they are? So when I'm opening my rings, I never pull the rings open. With any binder that I'm in, I always use these to open my rings. And then I'll use, once these are open, like they're down, you can't, even if you push them up, they're useless. They don't do anything. You can't use them to close your rings. So you have to, which I do anyways. I rarely use these to close my rings. So I do always, usually I grab the bottom. I don't always go both, like one hand on the top, one on the bottom. I usually just do the bottom and close them. So that I don't like. So for example, let's say I'm like this and the bulk of my inserts are here and I need to open my rings for something over here. Let's say I find like it's awkward because these are in the way. So I have to turn the binder, get a good handle, put my fingers underneath, and then I open that way. Okay. And because I'm so full, I have to then do a little maneuvering here to get my inserts back in, which is a bit of a pain because not everything is 100% lined up because of my vellum and page finders and things like that. They're not all exact because I do a lot of DIY. If you have pre-printed inserts, then they will be. But because I do a lot of DIY, it's really hard to get everything to be 100% lined up. Not a deal breaker for me. I'm used to it. So the only thing too is if my binder is, let's say, okay, where am I here? Let's say I have everything on the one side here, right? Like this. I can't really, there's not enough room here for me to close it. So again, I have to really push down on the one side, push this side down so that I can get in there to close. And then I'm afraid that it's gonna pinch my finger, which I have done. So I just don't like the high maintenance of it in that regard. What else here? Rings, the small clip for opening. I have to sit, like, hate's a strong word, but I hate these. I absolutely hate these. There, I said it. Hate it. Let me see, strap. I find this could be longer. It is not long enough. So I push it in and you can see the cover will come up and like it could just come out because it's not magnetic. So there's nothing holding it in there except this strap. And I mean, over time, I imagine that will stretch. I don't know. Yeah, so that I don't like. And then the rings are a little bit too small for me. I need 1.25 inch rings in my in my compact size. Okay, and then I'm just looking at my notes here. I wrote a pros and cons list here. The color. I wish that, so with all of her binders, they're only in one color. So it would be nice. I know she's a small shop, right? And she's just getting started with her planner business. So I do hope that eventually she will offer her binders in more than one color. I'm not usually a blue person. I'm more of the pastel colors. Like I love like a lilac, a pink. You know, the darker colors I like for fall. You know, I like my purple plumeria. It's gorgeous. My blue mirage I feel is a fall binder. It's not something I would use this time of year. So with this one here, this blue is really beautiful. I really love it for spring. It would go well in the fall. Pretty much any time of year, it's a great binder. The great thing about the color blue is it is timeless. So I feel like this will stand the test of time and won't go out of style, for lack of better words. But I do wish that she had this in another color, like pink. Tonya, if you're listening, if you're watching, do this binder in pink. Oh my gosh, that would just be amazing. Yeah, so only one color, that's a bit of a con. because it's a beautiful binder, but if you don't like the particular color, then it's not a good binder, because then you won't enjoy it as much. Okay, the pen loops, I do like that even though they're elasticized, they're a little bit tighter than the Vintage Aurora. I actually like that. So I always use the right side. I never use the left with my pen loops. So this side was already used. Like I said, this binder was new to me. This side does not look like it was ever used because it's very flat. So I tested this pen on this side and it goes in no problem. But it's just slightly bigger than the Tonya Plans binder. And I feel like, so you can see, like, it's not, I mean, it'll fall out if I'm rough with it, but if it's just sitting there, it should be fine. But in the Tonya Plans binder, it's very secure. Like, I put it in here and I mean, I'm sure if I bang it down, I have to really bang this for this pen to move. That's how secure it is in this pen loop. I love the size of the pen loop. That, superb. Well done. Love that. Absolutely love the size of the pen loops. Okay, and you could stretch it if you had an even thicker pen. So this isn't too thick. I mean, I have, let's see, I do have a TWSBI. And I don't want to stretch it, so I don't really want to put the TWSBI in there, but just to give you some context, I feel like the barrel is a little bit wider. Like, that's not going anywhere. Let's see how it works in here. Like, it's much looser. Fits no problem, much looser. I could even push it down to go over the cap, because the cap is thicker, and then it definitely is secure. It's not going anywhere. Okay, all right. This is easy to accessorize with. You can use blue tones, pink tones. I was a little bit like, how am I going to decorate this? Because I love my pink. Pink is my happy color. It makes me smile. It just makes me feel good. And I could not have a binder and not have pink in it. And so I've got my junk journal, like florally pretty stuff in here, and it accessorizes so well with the blue. I was a little bit worried, but I actually really like how it looks with the blue. Like, I really do. I find that the pink, it really pops. It really stands out in this binder. Like, doesn't that look so beautiful? I love it. I love it, love it, love it. So yeah, it accessorizes well. The lace, it just pops because of the rich color of the binder. There's so much to love about this binder. So all in all, I give this binder a solid 8 out of 10, for sure. A 10 out of 10 would be rings a bit bigger and more and stronger, and different clips. Let me show you what I mean by that. See how with this binder here, they stand up? They stand up. That doesn't make sense. They're higher, and you can use the clips to close and open your binder. I love that, because when this is full, I can't always, when I open it and my inserts go over the rings, it's not easy to push them down and grab the rings, so I can push them down and use these to close it. And I don't have to worry about jamming my fingers. And if my inserts are high, these stand up high enough that they're still accessible. So that I love in a traditional binder. Okay. What else can I say? Okay, so what I do also love about Tonya Plans, all of her binders have the exact same layout, and I love it. So the layout that she has in all of her binders is the same as the Vintage Auroras in the classic size, which is half letter size. Okay, I should have brought one. I have them all in my basement, so I don't have them with me. But they all have the 2 pen loops. They all have this pocket here. They all have the zipper on the left, and they all have the secretarial pocket and the business card holders, except They are horizontal, not vertical. I do love that she did vertical in this binder. I really like that a lot. I find it easier to accessorize actually, and less pressure because there's not as much room. Okay, so otherwise they're all this way. And then at the back, this is the same configuration in the Vintage Auroras where you have these two pockets here and then the bigger pocket here. It's the same configuration and I really like that. It makes sense to me. What Franklin Covey does with their compact size is they change it. They put the zipper on the right, which I don't like because then it's in the way of the pen loop. One would think this would be in the way of the pen loop, but not really because I don't ever put pens in there. But if I did, it does not, the pen loop does not overlap the zipper. Oops, sorry, I'm not even in frame. The pen loop does not overlap the zipper. It's far enough away that it doesn't get in the way. Love that. Love that attention to detail. Whereas with this one here, it overlaps your zipper. I really don't like that. Okay. Okay, but let's focus on the front. Let me see. Okay, so you don't have the pocket, you don't have the zipper, you just have the secretarial pocket with your business card holders and your window. That's all you get on the left. So you're missing this part here. And I like that being on the left. I really like that. Okay, and then on the back, how they change it with their compact is all you have is a pocket and your zipper. That's it. You don't have these pockets. Not a huge deal breaker, but I love this layout. Love this layout. Yeah, so let's look at the strap. So the strap seems to be, yes, it is bigger. So if I put this right in line, you can see that the Franklin Covey Compact one is much bigger and it's a lot thicker. And because it's a magnetic, even when it's not in the strap or the whatever that's called, it's magnetic. There's a magnet in there, and so then it stays in place, which I really like. Oh, I forgot to mention, the Vintage Aurora also has a pocket on the outside, so I guess that makes up for not having the extra pocket here. So if you didn't want to put a lot of things in the zipper here on the inside, you've got this pocket here, which I do like. And obviously there's no pocket here, which would be really difficult to do because of the quilted what's the right word I'm looking for? It's not fabric, you know what I mean, pattern, the quilted pattern. Okay, so that is my 2 cents on the binders. They're pretty much the exact same size. And I mean, she does call them her compact. Tonya Plans the Compact Genia binder. So it handles the Franklin Covey compact inserts. I have personal wide inserts in here. The Franklin Covey Compact are wider than personal. So they're probably about like this wide, roughly. So I do personal wide, but these are meant for the Franklin Covey Compact sized inserts. Okay, but you can see they pretty much look exactly the same size. The Vintage Aurora is slightly taller. Like, it's so slight, it's almost not even worth mentioning. It's very slight. Okay, so this one I give a 10 out of 10, the Vintage Auroras. Even without the configuration in here, this pocket makes up for it, in my opinion. Yeah, so that's where we stand. Okay, so you can see when I have it open, it does lift a little bit because of how full I have it. So again, these are 1.2-inch rings. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything out and put them in the Vintage Aurora, and I'm going to show you how it looks with the 1.25-inch rings, just so that you can see the difference. And I think it still does lift a little bit, but I don't think it's as prominent. All right, so I'm going to speed this part up. Okay, so I have everything in here, and I just want to show how easy this is to close it. Let's see how it looks completely, everything over to the one side. So it does lift up a little bit, but the inserts are still touching, whereas on the Tonya Plans binder, the top ones were actually lifted. So they were more like that, whereas these are pretty much flat. Okay, so let's see here. So yeah, I feel that these are more secure. I can push it in and there's very little movement because of the magnet. I love that. And it just feels more secure to me being closed. So that's how it looks with the 1 1/4 inch rings. And I mean, this is quite puffy. So you'll notice in this pocket, I have like a little notebook. That's something that I've added now that I'm in the day on 1-page inserts instead of the day on 2 pages. I don't have the note page on the right side anymore. And I did that so that my planner wasn't so bulky. And I found I wasn't using the notes pages enough to have it every single day. So then I have this, which I got from Muji many years ago, and I've never used it. And I figured for notes, when I'm on phone calls, taking client notes, things like that on the go, I'll just put them in this. Can't really show you what's on there, but yeah, that's what this is for. So it's just a little notebook, but it does add some bulk because I just keep it in this pocket. But without it, it does lay even flatter. And see how you can see the rings, even though this is full. This is a chunky planner, and you can still see where the rings meet. Okay, whereas with the other one that you can't because they're just a tad bit smaller. If you don't need as much as I do in your planner, you would be fine. You probably wouldn't even notice, you wouldn't even care. I'm just giving you my honest opinion based on how I use my planners, because I do need a lot of stuff. Do I need this? Not necessarily. This adds bulk too. This is where I keep stickers. I like it because it's pretty, and I made it, and I'm very proud of myself for making that. Okay, let's do a little test here with opening. Okay, so I grab these guys up here, no problem opening it at all, and see how my inserts did lift because it is full. So let's see, I'll push these down. And I have to push them down a lot because this is full. So now I don't have to try and grab the rings, although I could because they're so sturdy, but instead I do this and then I just grab the clippy things here, close it, no problem. And I don't have to worry about pinching my finger on the rings. Now let's look at the gappage, if that's a word. Probably not. It's okay. If I really pull, you can see that, I mean, I guess with any binder you could do that, but these are so tight. Like I'm really pulling to get any type of gappage. I know that's not a word. Oh boy. Yeah, really strong rings. This binder, I feel like it was gently used before it got to me because it had very little imperfections on it. But yeah, the rings, like they feel like brand new, like there's no gaps whatsoever. Okay, so I think that might be it. Let me just see if I'm missing anything. What I do like about the rings on this, if I wanted to replace them, see how you just put a hex screw in there, which is one of these, or an Allen key. You need the 2mm one. The 2mm one. and then you put that in there and then turn, and that's how you can take out your rings. So that I like because at least with all of the Franklin Covey binders, they're all the same. So if you've been with me for a while, you've probably seen me change rings out in binders. Like if I'm in a binder that has smaller rings, I'll put bigger rings in it, and I just borrow from another Franklin Covey binder and put them in. With Tonya Plans binder, I forget what that's called. Ryan knew what it was called, but you can't use a hex key. You have to have some sort of a screwdriver, I think, to be able to put in there. But at least she did make them so that they are removable. So that is nice, because her first binder, they were not removable. So I do like that, but it's not universal. So you would have to buy these specific kind of rings. Not a huge deal. Again, with these ones here, you would buy the same as well. What was I going to say? Now, you may ask, well, why don't you just put the 1.25 inch rings in here? I don't think this could handle it because the strap is not big enough. So if I did have bigger rings in here, I don't even know that, like, the strap might sit like that, right? Which I mean, what's the point? Like, you want it to be able to go in properly. So if I put the bigger rings in, this wouldn't be able to completely stay attached or secure, for lack of better words. I haven't tried. I don't know if I could with these screws, because how they look. Let me find some screws here. I know I have some. Yeah, I have some in here. These are Franklin Covey. These are from a Franklin Covey set of rings that I have. So I don't know if these look the same underneath. I have not checked. Ryan probably would know, my husband, but I haven't asked him. So I think that they have to be the same, like, thread around the little screws. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. All right, so I guess that concludes this video. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have this binder, let me know. Do you love it? I highly recommend this binder. It retails for, let me check one sec. It retails for $190 Canadian. I don't know what that would be in US dollars. It would be less, of course, but $190 Canadian for the compact size. And if you want the classic, which is the half letter size, you are looking at $203 Canadian. Now, if I were to buy the Vintage Aurora brand new, I'm trying to remember from when I bought mine. My Vintage Auroras were around the same, 190 US dollars, 190, between 190 and $200. Actually, I bought the classics were about 200, and then, so there is very similar in price, very similar in price. Something to note with this, she does not include a page lifter. Okay, so this clear page lifter is a Tonya Plans page lifter that I bought from her site. You can see there's her logo there. And I think she charges 10 bucks for two, I think. So, and any other binders that I've purchased from her, they come with. But in this one, she did not include it. She said to keep costs down. The Franklin Covey Compact ones and Classic all come with a page lifter. Mind you, they're the black ones. They're not the pretty clear ones. They are black, but they come with two, one for the front and one for the back, for the same price. You are getting, though, and I don't have it with me, a fly leaf. It's a leather fly leaf with a pen loop on it. But it is about, because it's leather, it's about that thick. So I don't use it simply because it adds too much bulk that I would have to downsize my inserts, which I can't do. So I do like that it comes with that. So again, if you don't need as many inserts as I do, like, that's great. You'll love it. And on the other, when you have the fly leaf open, it has business card holders. You can use it for deco or for functional cards that you might need for your business. Or you can use it, you know, for like gift cards and your debit card or credit cards, whatever. So anyways, So it does come with that, and it comes in a box and a dust ruffle, whereas the Franklin Covey Compact or any of the Franklin Covey binders don't come in a box, and they don't have the dust ruffle, and they don't have a fly leaf. So I don't know, right? Like Tonya Plans comes with more. I feel that if it also came with at least one page lifter, awesome, awesome, right? Worth the $190. I feel like she should include the page lifter, at least one as well. And then, yeah, and it's well worth the money, but it's so light. It's so easy to carry. So that's where I'm at. I don't know. I'm thinking I might just go back into my pink because it is my happy place. I just love, love, love my pink binder, and I love the Vintage Aurora. I have really loved being in this binder for the last like week and couple days. I don't know. My husband's like, you should just stay in it for a while because it's beautiful. So we'll see. Stay tuned. You'll see in future videos. If I'm in this one, then I stayed in this one. If I'm in my pink, then I moved everything over. I think that's it. I think I covered everything. If you have any questions, please let me know. But yeah, so again, I would give this binder, you know what, before I go, I'm just going to take everything out and then we'll compare them both empty. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions, if I missed anything, if there's anything that you're curious about that I didn't cover, please let me know. Okay, so here's how they look empty. Okay, so I have the strap as far as it will go on both. You can see this is quite a bit bigger on the Vintage Aurora. It is almost 2.5 inches. And then this one is 1 3/4. I don't know my like 1/18 of an inch and all that kind of stuff. So, but it kind of goes to like about there. So that to me is like 1 3/4. That's 1.5 there. So it's like 1 3/4 inches. Okay. So you can see it's just a tiny bit. So the Vintage Aurora is a tiny bit taller. Just a tad. Here's how they look from the top. Pretty similar. This has the bigger clip. This just has the little one. And then 1 1/4, 1.25 inch rings versus 1.2. And the spine. This is definitely thicker. This is more round. This is more rectangular. Like it has a rounded edge, but it's it's flat. Like this is round, and then this one is flat. So if you were to put them like this, well, you can't really tell because you're looking at it from the front now, but yeah, I hope that makes sense. Maybe I'll do it like this again. Yeah. So this is more round and this is flat, but has the rounded edges. Okay. So I like the round because again, it's easier to pick up. This one, I mean, it's still easy to pick up when there's nothing in it, but you know, when it's full, and the strap is out here because of it being full and it's open like that, it does feel a little bit more bulky. So yeah, that's how they compare empty. And here we go. I do love the vertical pockets versus the horizontal. And that's how she can do you know, this configuration, right? It would be hard to do that with these being horizontal. So that's how that looks, and then here's how the back looks. Both are beautiful. Vintage Aurora will always have my heart. These to me are a 10 out of 10. And like I said, I give this a good solid 8, 8.5. If it had the stronger rings and had the page lifter and had the different clips, it would definitely be a 10 out of 10 because everything else on this binder is perfection. It's like the zipper opens and closes really easily. It's just very well made. I'm very happy for her that this is her first leather binder too. All her other binders are simulated leather. So yeah, it's beautiful. Well done. Well done. I look forward to seeing what she comes out with next. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off now. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.